Hello, Mijiko. I greet you today from St. Paul's United Church in Bowmanville, which, woo! We're up in the balcony right now. The service just ended, and I just got up in front of the congregation and told people about my name and about being a candidate in the church, and oh, wow, that was an intense speech to give. And I actually brought up that we've been doing this and what I mentioned in the last video about talking about God enthusiastically. And I wanted to respond to something that you said in your video about kind of defining our terms, and especially when it comes to how God is in spaces that may not be entirely healthy or affirming. People are walking by and I'm recording a video and it's it's funny. But I feel that that the Spirit is still there in those spaces. I was thinking about the X-Men series since the new movie came out last week, it's 2 weeks ago now, and how those films are in some ways progressive, in some ways really not progressive. They're obviously made for financial gain, and that's kind of a struggle that I'm always on because I'm a film student. I have to wrestle with the idea that most of the films that I'm watching are corporatized. So I'm not going to be dealing in really affirming spaces because it's film. But at the same time, God works in mysterious ways, and people aren't always the best. Like, we know this, we recognize it, and so God acts through us sometimes in as subtle ways as possible, but sometimes in extremely blunt ways. And for the X-Men series, that means the really affirming aspects of that series when it comes to, I think that it's more of a trans experience than an experience dealing with sexual orientation, but I think that the detail and the diversity that those movies show, especially Last Stand, I haven't seen Days of Future Past yet, but they really show a diversity of understanding between, say, gender dysphoria and body dysmorphia. It's that all of it is very complicated and very personal, and that people's decisions are really their own. So I feel that that's probably the best answer I've got right now about how we deal in spaces that are not healthy, and how we deal with capitalist systems that are very harmful to many people. Is that we can, as we're in the process of trying to change those systems, we can affirm the parts of those systems that are good and disregard, or more so criticize, the parts that aren't so good. The Bible being a great example, and the history of the church. The church has done horrible things in the past, but we continue to try and make it better. And that, I think, is the message that I would take from the corporatized culture that we're going to be talking about, is that there's stuff that we need to criticize and stuff we need to call out, but the last thing I'm going to say is that we often, when I was younger especially, was very, very cynical and very, very jaded, and felt that we needed to just criticize what needed to be criticized and not praise it in any way. That people who would say, "Oh, but this is nice, it's got a nice message," were just disregarding the bad things. But I feel that you can do both. I feel that you can recognize the bad things and praise the good things at the same time, and that you kind of need to live healthily and affirmingly in this capitalist culture. So yeah, I'm gonna do one more turnaround. This is St. Paul's, and I'm out. I'll talk to you later, and await your next video. Thank you.